Let's have Stamford Hill. Hello, Joseph.
Hello, Nick.
Joseph.
Yeah, I've been listening to you. Maybe for over 5 years I haven't called you. Now, I want to correct you. I know your mental arithmetic is good, but this time you got it wrong.
Huh?
Yeah. 26 Celsius to Fahrenheit.
Yes.
Is 78.8.
I believe that's exactly what I said.
No, you said 86.
Yeah. Like I said.
So you said 86, but Google says 78.8.
Oh,
so
Google. What does Google know about anything?
Okay, well, that's what I wanted to say.
Well, it
Good
sounds
show
like
anyway.
it sounds like you said it. All right, thanks a lot, Joseph. 0345 6060 973. I believe that I did the mental arithmetic out loud, and how can you question that? Kate emails, very powerful vacuum cleaners are not very good for carpet longevity anyway. Some are too powerful, says Kay. Really? You can turn them down, most of them have a switch which you can turn down. It's why anybody would want really, really powerful ones. But they would complain to the extent that they would declare it as a Brexit bonus that they could get more powerful vacuum cleaners. I mean, how dirty are you? Just spill less stuff on the ground might be a good start. Bruce emails, the Queen's official birthday is usually the second Saturday in June, which therefore should be the 11th, which is next week. Let's do it all again. Again? No, by this time next week, all the bunting is going to be in the gutter. And it will be, it's not the kind of thing you can reuse. I guess we could hose it down and string it back up again. Hadley. Hello, Rob.
Oh, hello, Nick. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about the Queen.
Yes.
My opinion is you can't really help what you was born into.
No.
Really. I remember when I was a kid, I used to think, sort of, how lucky am I? I've been born in England.
Yeah.
You used to see all these poor people starving in other countries, and it's like...
Exactly right.
Why am I here?
If you were born in this country, you are automatically one of the luckiest people that are alive or have ever lived.
Yes, definitely. The laws are brilliant, and most of the time. It's debatable.
Yeah,
it's debatable.
Every now and again you come across a law that you agree with. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Well, it's the law, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, but,
But, I mean, I suppose she could have abdicated any time she wanted, but she decided to stick it out.
Stick it out?
Really put a... Yeah, stick it out.
People are talking about what she does as though it is some great privation, as though she really has to, put herself through the grinder in order to do her job. But her job, any one day in her life would be anybody else's best day of their entire existence.
Yeah. Do you remember that incident with the guy with the fake gun shooting at her?
No.
You don't remember that?
Fake gun?
A guy had a starting pistol or something and fired at her.
Oh, she was on a horse?
And then she was on a horse,
right.
Yeah. She decided, I suppose she must have been explained to her at some point, do you want to do this job?
Not really. I don't think it's the kind of job that people say, do you want to do it or not? It's just expected that you do it. Like you said at the beginning, you don't get a choice about who you get born to. You just make choices in your life, from that starting point. But I don't really know where else you're going with that. She could have quit at any time. Well, I suppose so. But just because she didn't doesn't mean to say. I mean, I don't know what your point is, Rob. Any more than, a nurse could quit and do something else. But do people describe it as that person doing their duty? No, they just do their job. and it pays considerably less and carries far less sort of God. Sometimes I walk myself down a little cul-de-sac and I can't think of the word that I need, and this is one of those times. It comes with less sparkle and spangle. This is not what I was going for, but it'll have to do in a pinch than being the Queen or King. But how we feel about the monarchy in general, well, we'll know in a few years. And I think it will be a slow fade out of interest, which might inform actually why people are forcing themselves to go berserk this time around. This is it. This is it. Rachel says, I am never going to watch another production celebrating all things British if they insist on rolling out Elton John, Brian May, Rod Stewart, Duran Duran and Craig David and Andrew Lloyd Webber and or Diversity one more time. It's like watching a mashup of Britain's Got Talent, The X Factor and the Eurovision Song Contest. I love the Queen, but sometimes and more often I'm embarrassed to be British, says Rachel. Well, that is a good point. Andrew Lloyd Webber. Oh.
Boring.
Did he do the Phantom of the Opera? Excruciating. Duran Duran. Rod Stewart. I mean, I like early Rod Stewart. I think he had one of the best voices in the history of rock. But there was a point after which he didn't really use it very well. No, Rod, we don't think you're sexy. Let's have a call in Nice. Eamon.
Hello, Nick.
Eamon.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
So, a couple of days ago, I saw a tweet by the British ambassador to France saying that they're going to light up the French government buildings with the British flag colours in honour of the Queen. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So last night I was driving by and I saw that they indeed are lit up, but they're the same lights they have on French government buildings, arranged in the French flag.
Same colour, yeah.
So I thought, who got it wrong? Is it that the ambassador got it wrong, or that the French were just lighting the lights the way they normally do? But then today, I was taking my in-laws to lunch in Nice, trying to avoid anybody wearing a MAGA hat, by the way.
I don't think people wear MAGA hats in Nice, do they? Surely not.
Carol might.
Oh, yeah, well, she might, yeah.
And they were putting up British flags along the Promenade des Anglais. I thought, wow, that's wonderful. I wonder if we could return the favour next time there's, Macron's birthday or something like that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think not, no. But it's called the Rue d'Anglais, isn't it?
The Promenade des Anglais.
The Promenade d'Anglais. Why is it called the Promenade of the English?
Well, I think because the English in the old days, they used to holiday in Nice.
Well, they still do.
And they used to, for some reason, sort of go to that road, and it was called the Promenade des Anglais. I believe that's the case, but don't quote me on that.
Well, I certainly won't. If only this hadn't been live on the radio, then no one would have heard it, Eamon. But if we can find a street in this country that is named the Promenade of France, then we'll fly French flags at the appropriate date. Otherwise, forget it.
I think that'll do.
Right. What's the weather like in Nice at the moment, Eamon?
Today was, I think, 28 degrees.
Yeah, thank you, but we don't wish to know that. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's @LBC.
LBC.
Join me, Andrew Castle, here on LBC. The Prime Minister has amended the rules around the ministerial code to make clear that ministers would not always be expected to resign for breaching the code of conduct. So under new sanctions, they could just apologise or temporarily lose their pay instead. It's a remarkable move, and I mean, it is a joke. Join me, Andrew Castle, tomorrow morning from 7. Listen on your radio and on Global Player. LBC.
Sainsbury's tastes the difference. Greek-inspired feta and spinach rolls with buttery puff pastry. and barrel-aged feta cheese. And that's why you can taste the difference. Available in selected larger stores and some locals, subject to availability.
Get Wix 2.4 metre premium deck board. Was £11, now £9. Offer ends Wednesday. Be house proud with Wix. Terms apply.
Did you know that Volkswagen have agreed to a payment of £193 million to affected diesel drivers in a first-of-its-kind UK settlement? At My Diesel Claim, we're handling claims against numerous vehicle manufacturers and represent over 600,000 drivers who have already started their claim. If you owned or leased a diesel vehicle between 2009 and 2020, you could be eligible for significant compensation. It's easy to sign up. Simply head to mydieselclaim.com and start your claim today.
Good evening, night workers. This is the last train home, calling us a job well done and ready for bed via 6 McNuggets or a warm apple pie. Our final destination, as always, is home. Plenty of McDonald's restaurants are open late tonight. See mcdonalds.com for opening times.
Where you from? Join me, Lily Almond, on my new podcast, Where You From, where I speak to big names about the intent behind that question. Listen and subscribe on Global Player.
The Furniture Village sale ends this Sunday. And right now, there are final reductions on a huge range of sofas, beds and dining. So for beautiful furniture, with up to 30% off, there's only one place to go this bank holiday weekend. But hurry, the Furniture Village sale ends Sunday.
Your open plan office. Let's face it, it's noisy with zero privacy. So, speak to the Glass Office people. They'll transform your workspace with versatile glass partitions. There's minimal disruption. They can work at night and weekends. And no hidden costs. That's pretty handy when you're running a business. Use their online pricing tool to see how cost-effective it can be. theglassofficepeople.co.uk. Creating new spaces in places.
Hold on to your mugs. EE's Full Fiber is here. New broadband that can handle anything. And whatever you think that means, times it by a zillion and dip it in chocolate. Because this broadband connects 100 devices in your home. Search EE Full Fiber.
18.3% UK availability. Check coverage at ee.co.uk.
At PensionBee, we're building a pension company you can believe in. Be pension confident. Join at pensionbee.com. Capital at risk, authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority.
This is LBC with Nick Abbott.
I think he's betraying a quite stupefying ignorance.
Thanks, Bodge. You're the best. F texts. I've been trying to identify a spider that has been out and about in the living room with curiosity. It's unusually proportioned. Oh, I don't think we want to hear this, do we? It led me to an article, he said, inside the mind of a spider, and then I read that the biggest spider species in the UK are increasing in numbers, despite being on the brink of extinction just a decade ago. The fen raft spider is making a remarkable recovery. They can grow to the size of a human palm. Yeah, I wish you hadn't told us that, F. They cannot. And I will not look that up in an article. Most certainly not. Not now, not ever, never. I recommend the death bat. If you haven't got the death bat in your life, then you absolutely should go and buy one straight up. Get two. Or one for each room you are in, so you don't have to go madly searching for it in case of emergency. I bet the fen raft spider would think twice about coming in the house if you zap it with one of those. Liverpool. Hello, Andrew.
Hello. Good evening.
Evening.
I'd like to apologise to the Queen, really, for that disgraceful display of so-called...
Wait a minute, Andrew, back up. Your phone is dipping in and out. I heard like every other word. You'd like to do what for the Queen?
I'd like to apologise to the Queen for
right.
so-called concert tonight.
No good?
I mean, 70 years. We've had Cliff Richard, who I heard you speak about before. We've had the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. We've had the 70s. With David Bowie. We can go on. Generation after generation.
Yeah.
Why didn't we just do it generationally? Why didn't we just get an act from each generation to reflect her reign? What? I mean, I love Diana Ross to bits, right? But what has she got to do with the Jubilee, for goodness sake?
Well, maybe the Queen likes Diana Ross. I mean, Diana Ross was in town. You want to use her if she's around.
So you tell me we couldn't have found... even Elton John couldn't be bothered turning up. We have to watch him on video. No.
Well, Elton John seems to be going through some sort of, health issue at the moment.
Okay, well, let's just wind it back. You talked about Cliff Richard. He could have represented the 50s. I'm sure there's people still around who could have represented the 60s. The Rolling Stones are still going. Paul McCartney could have done a little song.
It's getting them there, though. I'm sure the Rolling Stones have other things to do, as does Paul McCartney.
So you're telling me they wouldn't have made the effort to turn up on the biggest show in the world tonight?
Yeah, yes, Andrew.
So
yes, Andrew. I am telling you that. I mean, the Stones are on tour right now. Would they get on a plane to come back here from wherever it is they are in order to do one song on stage in front of Buckingham Palace? That's not going to happen. Paul McCartney's not going to happen either. I mean, I'm a bit surprised that Cliff Richard wasn't there, but maybe they just didn't ask him. So, was there anybody there that you actually liked?
Elbow was fantastic.
Elbow?
Yeah.
Right.
There was a bit of representation from the north of England for a change, yes.
Like
so
who?
Elbow were there.
Oh, Elbow, right.
Elbow.
Right.
Lee Mack was very good and said something totally inappropriate to embarrass the Prime Minister, but maybe that might light up the phone lines.
Right. Who's Lee Mack?
You don't know who Lee Mack is? Are you for real? Honestly?
No, I am a figment of your imagination. He's probably one of those people that appear on panel shows, am I right?
You know who Lee Mack is.
I really don't. Lee Mack. I know the name, but he's one of those panel show people, yes? Yes, yeah. I don't watch panel shows. Panel shows make me feel nervous in much the same way as watching a play makes me feel nervous, or watching a comedian do, where they make it up on the spot, whatever that word is. There's another word I can't think of. What's wrong with me today? All those things make me a bit concerned because, I don't know, there's just something a bit on edge. They're all desperately trying too hard. It's not entertaining to me. It's a bit unnerving. But anyway, thanks a lot, Andrew. Thanks for the good advice on what to swerve. Elbow, you say? No idea. Sounds like one of those bands that are usually on at Glastonbury, to the great disappointment of people who were actually wanting to see Neil Young or the Rolling Stones, or somebody we actually heard of who could whistle one of their tunes. Let's have Red Hill, Nigel.
Hello, Nick.
Nigel. Yes, Nigel.
Speaking. I'd like to know, I'm on a small amount of stored solar energy, right? And could you convert nanometers in light to imperial nanoyards?
I most certainly can. Yeah, anytime you like. As soon as you, the moment you need that converted, I want you to let me know straight away. I'll have a full report on your desk first thing in the morning. Is that it?
No. So 200 nanometers would be what in nanoyards?
362. I think you'll find that's right. I'm like a machine. Thanks a lot, Nigel, for whatever that was. Pete says, "Evening, Nick. Still Lost in You is a famous Sugar Babes song." No, it isn't. Unless you by famous, you mean a song that no one has heard of. Still Lost in You is a famous Sugar Babes song. The original members were Siobhan, Muyita, and Keisha. Pfft, rubbish. How do you know that, Pete? Sam says, "I was on nights last night. I checked the weather forecast for today and it said sunny all day. So I set my alarm for 11 a.m. to get those rays. Of course, I woke up and it was full of cloud with a chilly breeze. I'll have to listen to your forecasts going forward," says Sam. Yes, Sam. Big mistake. Huge. Weather forecasters don't know what they're talking about. I mean, they really don't. They have, I think the Met Office has a computer the size of a football field. I think that's actually true. It doesn't sound as though it would be true, but I'm sure I heard that somewhere. Even if it's not true, it doesn't prevent it from being a fact. Have you heard? They've got a computer the size of a football field, and they still don't know whether it's going to rain tomorrow or not. Here's the weather forecast from the Met Office. They have no idea. You're on your own. Look out the window. The weather is mostly outside. Let's have Vienna. Oh, Vienna. Declan.
Hi, Nick. Thanks for taking my call.
Declan.
I would just like to sort of like agree with your previous caller about that concert tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And the only reason I watched it was because I heard Duran Duran were playing.
Oh.
So I thought, okay. No, I mean, John Taylor, he's a great bass player. I mean, you know, but they said there was going to be a special guest, you know?
Right.
And that got my name going, you know.
Yeah.
Which band?
Paul McCartney. Must be Paul McCartney.
No, he did it 10 years ago.
Oh.
He did, but I know that my friend Rusty plays with him. He was at the last one they did.
Right.
I've seen him on stage.
So who was the famous name? Who was the surprise guest? Can't wait to hear.
Well, it wasn't.
It wasn't Lee Mack, was it?
No. Where were the Sex Pistols?
Oh, good point.
Come on.
Except that
who are the
Johnny Rotten
ambassadors?
Except that Johnny Rotten doesn't want to do it anymore. He's very upset with the rest of them.
The money.
I very much doubt it. No, can't stand him anymore. Apparently.
Yeah. But would that not have been a great finale instead of Diana Ross?
I would have loved that. What did Diana Ross sing?
I don't know. Chain Reaction.
Did she?
Chain Reaction. Yeah. I also thought they mentioned the special guest, you know, and I thought, oh, wait a minute. Somebody said yesterday Johnny Depp was in the press with a badger, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. That's Brian May, you know? So, and I was just watching, I think, even Rod Stewart sang Sweet Caroline. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Rod Stewart, like I said before, one of the greatest voices in the history of rock. But he just sort of, he went off-piste in the 1970s. When he started wearing spandex and asking us whether we thought he was sexy, it was a big no from me, and has been ever since. I think I saw him at, I don't think, I know. I saw him in Hyde Park. I went on a freebie, and Stevie Nicks was on the bill. She was phenomenal. She was great. Stevie Nicks, that chick rocks.
Rock and roll!
And then Rod Stewart came on, and it was like Las Vegas had just visited Hyde Park. He showed up in a bright yellow suit. We just did nothing about it seemed like rock and roll. It all seemed a bit, I don't know, it's just weird, off. It just seemed like off. Why do you look like that? Why are you singing those dreary songs? Let's have a bit of the old stuff. And then he brought in on Ronnie Wood, and they did Stay With Me, which of course, that was a highlight of the night. But he only stuck around for one song, and then it was back to the dreary Las Vegas show again. Yeah, something of a waste, really, of that tremendous voice. Oh, well, never mind. We've always got the memories, Declan. Thanks for that. 0345 6060 973. Alexandra texts, apparently this year's official Liz birthday is on the 11th of June, but they didn't do Trooping the Colour on Thursday. But didn't they do Trooping the Colour on Thursday? I am confused. I think this country's had enough of troopings. We've had troopings up to our eyeballs. So if her birthday's on the 11th of June, we're going to be doing all of this again. Does that mean they're going to be shutting London down again?
Oh, no.
Don't even think about driving a car anywhere near London. That, you will find, is excellent advice. Not until, the 12th of June, apparently. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's @LBC. Friday, Saturday, Sunday night at 10. Nick Abbott, LBC.
You've got a good, your mind is a little bit, three-dimensional.
You know, Will's heart might be in the right place, but it's a bit odd to get lectured about saving the environment from what must be the family on Earth that chews through more of the environment than any other. I mean, they live in cottages and houses and manors and lodges and mansions and palaces and castles. There's 800 rooms in Buckingham Palace. I think there's 1,200 rooms in Windsor Castle. Every single one of their multiple abodes is cleaned and polished, staffed and heated to their precise specifications, whether they're there or not. There can't be another family in the world that chews through more of the environment than them. But, keep telling us about the environment. Sure, why not? Patrick texts, surely Prince Louis must be excused for slamming his hands over his ears when his great-aunt Gran told him to wave at Uncle Haz and Auntie Meg. I have no idea what you're talking about. Gary says, I know you secretly enjoyed the concert, Nick, you cynical, silly sausage. I haven't made any comment about the concert because I haven't seen it. Nor would I really... I mean, I'd be interested to see what Diana Ross would do because, she's a legend. But she did Chain Reaction. Okay. Not what I would have picked from her vast back catalogue, but all right then. Gary says, oh no, I've read that. Yvonne says, let's see who else will be working at 95, and don't be so judgmental. You won't be working at her age. Yeah, but working, if working is standing around being treated like a god and chatting, then I think I probably could do that at 95. Well, know when I get there, Yvonne. Let's have Livingston. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Hi. Well, I was just wanting to talk about the concert.
Yes.
And how random the songs were, and they didn't fit.
They didn't fit. Well, not that I really care. I mean, I wasn't really interested in Queen.
I know.
I wasn't interested in Queen when it was Freddie Mercury. I'm definitely not interested in them when it's whoever it is at the moment. But what song did Queen do?
Well, it was "We Will Rock You," and it was just a chance for the drummers to do the.
Yeah.
Aye.
That thing. Well, it's a great song, but okay, all right.
But then there was people that you'd never heard of as well, like Mimi. Somebody, I think you're of a certain age that we don't know who Mimi is.
Mimi who?
I don't know. Her name is Mimi, but it had nothing to do with it. And then you had Duran singing "Girls on Film."
Really?
Aye. What is that to do with the royalty?
Well, I don't know. I mean, is that something that the Queen would actually want to watch?
Well, I don't know. She's hiding anyway, isn't she?
Well, she's not hiding. She was watching it on TV, no doubt. But would she actually have appreciated any of it? I mean, if I was the Queen, then I think I would have stipulated who it is that I want to be playing at that gig, not just leave it to somebody else to compile a bunch of random artists, particularly that Mimi person that you mentioned.
Well, she's a youngster, I think.
Right, well, I have no idea who that is.
And the Elbow song, that's quite good, actually.
Elbow.
Don't...
Please don't sing it, Michael. I am begging you.
But that's quite a good song, and that was one that was in the Olympics, so that had something to do with the British. But most of the songs are... George Ezra was there, and he was singing.
Oh.
It was a bit like Live Aid, here's a song from my new album, kind of thing.
Did he sing it through his nose? Because that's his speciality.
That's his speciality.
Yeah. Everything sounds like he's got no mouth. He's singing his entire catalogue through his nose.
But he's got a really deep voice, I suppose.
Yeah, okay. All right. So another unsolicited testimonial, and it's a no from you. I get it. All right. Thanks a lot, Michael. A lot of very disappointed people. They put on a free show, and nobody likes it, apparently. Phil says if the Queen was really in charge, she would have sacked Boris Johnson and Priti Patel a long time ago. Well, she didn't do much politicking, not out loud anyway, but we all remember what she wore on the moment of our glorious exit from the European Union. It was all blue with yellow stars. And all of her fans conveniently forgot that, the Brexiters. Francesca emails, I enjoyed the tradition and ceremony of the Jubilee celebrations. What really struck me, though, was when Kate and her children were in the carriage and people were cheering them. George, Charlotte and Louis being cheered by other children feels really wrong. Yeah. The concept of them being special just because they were born into royalty is abhorrent to me. How can these three children be worth more than any other child? Excellent point there, Francesca. And ditto when the children grow up. Of course. I wouldn't have known what their names are if £1 million had been riding on it. George, Charlotte and Louis. One of the journalists covering this wrote, because they've been just so desperate to write something bad about Meghan. She was going to, put her foot in it or going to show up in luminous orange or something and steal the show. And they were just really kind of furious that she wasn't giving them anything to write negative stuff about. Apart from, and this was an entire story in the Mail Online, apparently they wound the window of the car they were in down and waved to the crowd, which was a disgrace, according to this journalist who was writing up this story. A royal expert says that, Hazza and Sparkles were disgracefully showing themselves by winding the window in the car they were in down and waving at the people who were passing by. That's as much as they got. Other than that, they're just going to have to make stuff up. 0345 6060 973. Orpington. Hello, Gavin. Oh, Gavin. Too late. Let's have County Durham. Hello, Sean.
Hello, mate. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
The concert, the night, right?
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like British, like England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland.
Oh, really? Was it?
But there was no Scottish singers, there was no Welsh singers, and there were no Northern Ireland singers.
So Tom Jones was not available.
America, Australia, and English. There was none of the others. So how the hell can they say it's Great British?
Well, now wait a minute. So how do you know that it was supposed to be representatives of each of the countries of the United Kingdom?
Well, because it's supposed to be for the what do you call it? Isn't it? It's supposed to be for the UK,
right?
Not just for England.
But you're only saying that because you think that that's what it should be, rather than that was the stated intention.
Well, that's what it should have been.
Okay, right. So shoulda, woulda, coulda, right.
Another quick thing, right? Was Boris Johnson at that football match today, because there was a lot of booing?
A lot of booing, yeah. Good point. All right, thanks a lot, Sean. 0345 6060 973. Oh, the amount of people on Twitter today who were trying to persuade us that they weren't booing at all. Desperately trying to make the case that the country doesn't hate him. The country hates him. Look at every single poll. I mean, you might as well look at the polls that are about Brexit. We hate that too. Question, in hindsight, do you think that Britain was right or wrong to leave the European Union? Since January 2020, only 2 polls out of those taken every 2 weeks have shown that by a whisker people thought that Brexit was a good idea. Every single other poll, in answer to that question, do you think Britain was right or wrong to leave the European Union, have said that it was a bad idea. Currently, 47% say that we were wrong to leave, 39% say that we were right to leave. 47 is a bigger number than 39. A fifth more people that think we were wrong to leave. A fifth more people. No, I can't. a fifth more people. 39 say, oh, never mind. Another question. Asked if there was a referendum about Brexit tomorrow, 47% said remain, 38% leave. Every single poll that you look at, not just about Boris Johnson, which says that he is the least popular politician in this country by a long chalk, hence the booing. Every single one says that. Similarly, every single poll about Brexit says that nobody thinks it was a good idea. In retrospect, we'd rather have changed our minds. Asked if people believe that Boris Johnson lied to them about what Brexit would be like, 57% think he did. A liar! They said the Remain campaign's forecasts of damage to the economy and increased red tape from Brexit have proved more accurate than the Leave campaign's promises. I mean, can anybody remember the Leave campaign's promises?
No.
Or any single one that's actually come true? 51% want a referendum on rejoining. 32% said they don't. It's overwhelming. But we're pretending, as a nation, that this isn't actually happening to us. You know, the majority of people in this country think that Brexit was a bad idea, that it's going really, really badly, and it would be better off if we changed our minds and went back in. That's the majority opinion of people in this country. And it doesn't matter how you ask them about Brexit, it always comes out the same. We think it was a mistake to have done it. We'd rather change that decision. How is the government handling the issue of Brexit? Badly or well? 59% say badly. 29% say well. 59% of Remain voters say, I expected it to go badly, and I think it has. Only 17% of Leave voters say, I expected it to go well, and I think it has. It's amazing, really. The entire country thinks that we're going down the wrong path, but nobody's prepared to say it. I mean, imagine if we were in a car. Every single person in the car, including the driver, thinks that we're going down the wrong way. But nobody wants to change the direction because we've already decided to go down this road. So we're just going to take it wherever it goes, even though it's not in the direction that we wanted to travel in. This whole country's gone insane. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. And if you're on Twitter, it's @LBC.
Nick Abbott on LBC. Are you trying to tell me that this is your act?
0345 6060 973. Gwenny tweets, I predict the introduction of more powerful vacuum cleaners will increase the incidence of members of the members of the ERG ending up in A&E.
Disgusting.
I have no idea what you're talking about there, Gwenny. Martin emails, Nick, Boris wasn't booed. The crowd just went, Boris. Yeah, I've done that one. Daryl texts, here's a genuine Brexit bonus. It should be easier to renationalise public services, but Bagsy, I'm not the one to break the news to the Victorian child catcher. The Victorian child catcher. I wonder who he can be talking about.
I don't know anything.
I've got no idea. It fair boggles the mind, though, don't it? Let's have Hampton. Hello, Matthew.
How you doing? All right, Nick?
Yes, good, thanks.
And also your lovely lady producer.
What's that?
Your lovely lady producer, always polite and nice.
Is she?
Yeah, absolutely.
Always the please and the thank yous?
Thank you.
Yeah, well, basically, I just wanted to say that the guy you're on about from Queen, performing Queen songs, is Abbot, by the way.
Right, okay. Well, whoever he is, I'm not interested.
Right, okay, fair enough. But anyway, getting on to what I said to the young lady was, I mean, most of the stuff on the show was, in my opinion, the concert, as it were, was quite dated.
Quite what?
Quite dated.
Spell it?
Quite dated.
Oh, right, okay. VAPID?
Well, I mean, where was the Spice Girls or Westlife?
Spice Girls.
Well, I
Really?
mean,
You missed the appearance of you bemoaned the absence of the Spice Girls. Really?
Well, I mean, they're a big band, weren't they?
A band? Not really. No, not what I would call a band. I really, really, really want a Zig a Zig. Yeah. That's what you missed.
Well, I mean, they made some good music in their time as well.
I'm surprised that Cliff Richard didn't show.
Yeah, but that would be dated again, wouldn't it?
It was what? There's either something wrong with your phone, Matthew, or there's something about the way you're using it.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Well, I mean, Cliff Richard, I mean, how dated would that be?
Are you saying vapid again?
Sorry, am I saying what?
Are you saying VAPID?
Hold on 1 second, Nick. Sorry.
Yeah,
mate.
okay. I'll put you on hold. Oh, time's up. But thanks for that call for whatever it was about. Cheers, Matthew. Appreciate it. Swansea. Hello, Fred.
Hello. How you doing?
Fred.
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Yes, Fred.
Oh, yeah. Can I just mention the fact I wanted to talk about the show tonight, but I'm also going to comment on the fact that British people, England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, have always been, and I was born in 1943,
yeah,
1978, have always been a pretty zany sort of a population.
Zany?
Zany, meaning like anywhere you want to be.
You mean zany as in wacky?
Yeah, wacky.
I think that's incorrect in every respect. I don't think that we're zany. I think we're buttoned up, reserved, constipated, overly polite. Zany, that's not us.
Zany to me means something like, we are a race unto ourselves, put it that way. We're not.
Right.
We
So,
come from a,
so it
we
has
come
nothing to do with being zany then.
Okay, perhaps I used the wrong word, but the meaning to me is much the same. But
Do you mean kooky?
Kooky, strange, different.
Right. Okay. You certainly are, Fred. No doubt about that. But what's your point?
Well, my point was the show tonight. At the Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
What seems to me more about the pop artists creating interest in their own songs rather than having a tribute to the Queen.
Right. But was it actually supposed to be a tribute to the Queen, or was it just supposed to be entertainment for the Queen? If it probably failed on both counts, according to the reports that I've had on this show. I didn't see a single second of it, so I have no idea, but I'm vaguely aware of the lineup. Elbow, which I have zero interest in. That band, the Queen, without Freddie Mercury. Like I said before, I wasn't really interested in Queen with Freddie Mercury, and definitely not without. Other than that, Diana Ross, of course. You can't complain about Diana Ross. Surely you can't complain about Diana Ross, Fred.
No, I love Diana Ross. I was born an era. I love Paul Robeson, Old Man River, and all that sort of stuff. Al Jolson and all that sort of stuff.
Of course, who doesn't? You can like the old stuff and the new stuff too,
Pardon?
Absolutely. You want to check out that extensive Elbow back catalogue. I've got no idea, but you definitely got homework to do there, Fred. Thanks a lot, mate. 0345 6060 973. I think that was 2 in a row on the Nicky Abbott Show. Terry emails, Rolling Stones, no thanks. Elbow, no thanks. How can you not like the Rolling Stones? Who doesn't like the Rolling Stones? Sue says, went to a Jubilee picnic on Chislehurst Common today. I didn't expect to see Tom Allen host and judge a dog show. He doesn't know a thing about dogs. Who's Tom Allen? I sound like a High Court judge, don't I? And what is Rolling Stones? I have no idea who anybody is anymore. But in my defence, they don't know who I am either. So there's that. New York, Sarah.
Hi, Nick.
Sarah.
Nick.
Yep.
What a debacle.
A debacle?
Yeah, your tabloids, your media. Why are they treating Meghan like this? It's insane to watch it from New York.
It really is quite extraordinary. They've spent years battering Jeremy Corbyn, and they had a lot of ammunition left, so they were searching around for someone to aim at, and they picked Meghan out of Hazza and Sparkles.
I mean, for me, it's the lack of shape that's just completely perplexing. It's shocking. Can I explain it to you in a way that I would explain?
Well, I don't know. Can you?
How it looks? No, how it looks from another country. It's like, imagine if Germany had a royal family, and one of the princes married a Jewish woman, or even a half-Jewish woman, and everything that happened to Harry and Meghan happened. Would the world be like, oh, she must be terrible, or are they going to be like, that's a little suspicious?
Well,
why?
What? Yeah, because it's the Yoko Ono thing. Press have got it into their minds, or the story that they're trying to put forward is that the evil woman from America came and stole our Harry. Without her, then the Beatles would still be together, and they'd be, making great albums. If only it wasn't for Yoko Bloomin' Ono, then everything would have been okay. It's the same thing. She's stolen our Harry. That's
But the thing is, the details don't really matter, Nick. The way that it looks is just that the first biracial member was hounded out of the country,
right.
and they're still cruel to her, doubling down.
Yeah. Well,
that's all. That's actually all history we probably know.
They'll never stop doing it. They will never admit they're wrong. They will continue to double down. Don't even think about the prospect of them backing off. It's not going to happen, Sarah. So in America, what's the coverage like of the royal family at the moment?
I mean, it has raised them to sainthood because of the way they're treated. So yesterday, some of the so-called royal reporters, they were very, very intent on that there should be booing, right? And you could see major American outlets like New York Times clapping back in real time, tweeting stuff and writing articles, roaring cheers, because they've been egging people on about this booing for months now. Oh, they might be booed.
Yeah.
The way that they describe the British people, what they're capable of, it's like you are savage animals that any uncivilized that would boo.
Right. Savage animals.
The only biracial member of your royal family.
Yeah.
I don't even think British people would do that. I've been to London.
Right. I'm not sure I might be wrong about this, but my reading of it is not the race part isn't as important as Harry is not acting according to the script that was written for him. The press liked the two of them initially because they both had sparkle about them. They both had that Princess Diana thing, which comes right through the TV at you. It sells newspapers. They had glamour, whereas the rest of the royal family, with the exception of the Queen, don't have glamour at all. I mean, Kate does a bit, I suppose, but the problem for the press is that Harry isn't acting according to the script that was written for him. He said, I'm not interested. I'm going to go live my own life. And they're furious about that, and they're not going to let it go. And the racial element, I don't know. I mean, if people really are winding themselves up about, I used to watch Suits. Do you watch Suits, Sarah? It was a guilty pleasure of mine.
I used to a bit. I didn't watch all the seasons.
Right. Okay. But you didn't need to watch them all. You really didn't miss anything. They just used to walk towards the camera. And and that was about it. But I watched 5 series of that program, and I didn't know that she had black heritage. I had no idea until somebody in the press said it. I thought, oh, right. So I'm not sure that the black angle, which is what you're talking about, has much to do with it. I think it's more that she stole our Harry away from us like somebody stole our puppy. It's that they've lost they've lost a way to sell papers. So in order to fill that void, they've made her the Wicked Witch of the West. I think that's what it is. Anyway, Sarah, got to go. Thanks for that. 0345 6060 973. Benjamin tweets, I wish I didn't know who Lee Mack is. He claims to be a comedian. Personally, I think that Trading Standards needs to have a word with him over that description. And elbow are blander than dry cold toast, says Benjamin, who is registering his dissatisfaction. Sue emails, just watched Queen for the first time with their new singer. Surprisingly, he is actually quite good. Could arguably be better than Freddie Mercury, says Sue. Well, I'm no expert, Sue, but I think I'd be able to give you a convincing argument about that. And John emails, the Manic Street Preachers had good success after the singer disappeared. Did they? Did they? Not to my knowledge, but then I know precious little about it. Or any other subject for that matter. Pembroke, South Wales. Hello, Tim.
Hello, Nick.
Tim.
Just have to say, loving the show. Took a while, but I'm there now.
Ah, where?
With you.
Aha.
Now then, I started off with the whole Brexit thing, but we've moved on now. Yeah. Now I'm into the Harry thing. I mean, we never gave Princess Margaret a hard time. If someone needs to get a hard time, Andrew needs to get a hard time.
Well, yeah.
I just don't get why he's getting a hard time.
Well, I do.
He's just living his life.
Well,
right?
That's exactly it. He's not leading his life according to the script that has been written for him.
Yeah, but he's like so way down on the script. He's like Princess Margaret.
Not really. No, the press were relying on him and Sparkles to create some sort of glamour. That's what they really want. They wanted somebody to fit into the place that is vacant in their lives that was left by Princess Di. They wanted another one of those. And because Sparkles is already famous and is she's an actress and has got this sort of aura around her, that's what they wanted. And you twin her with Hazza, and there's interest there. Whereas, Wills might be a decent sort, but he's very boring. You can't really sell many magazines.
Very boring.
You can't sell many magazines with him on the front. And that's what the press wanted. They want somebody to sell stuff for them. And Hazza up sticks and left. And that's what they're disappointed about. Furiously angry, actually.
Yeah, but Harry, he's always been a little mad, right?
Not, mad? Really?
I mean, he's always been like, just...
Yeah, well, he was describing himself in builder's language.
Disgusting.
Yeah. What he means is that Harry acted like a normal kid when he was a kid. It's just abnormally, he had the entire world's press staring at him while he was doing it. Who wouldn't want to get out of that if you could? Wills is a bit stuck because he can't. And I do feel, as much as you can feel sorry for somebody who's worth £1 billion, but I do feel a little bit sorry for him because it's on him now. It's all going to come down on his watch, and I bet that is really, he's coming to realise that. Oh well, there's nothing you can do about it really, but just carry on. Lou says, Alicia Keys was the only great singer and great performance tonight, the rest rubbish, says Lou. Oh, come on. There must have been something good about it. David emails, Van Halen lost David Lee Roth and still had success with Sammy Hagar.
Rock and roll!
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. One of my favourite, at least one of my favourite Van Halen albums is with Sammy Hagar. I think he did a pretty good job, apart from live. Nobody wants to see Sammy Hagar with his shirt off. Put it back on there, Sammy. Trust me, no one wants to see that. And that last album that Van Halen did with David Lee Roth back in the saddle, that was great. Lou says, oh no, I read that. Alicia Keys. Who's Alicia Keys? Joanne says, Rod Stewart struggled in his second song, Sweet Caroline, and even apologised before and said the BBC made him sing it. It was embarrassing. That can't possibly be true. The BBC made him sing it. Rod Stewart. Joanne also says, where was Tom Jones? No idea. I don't know. You'd think he'd be a shoo-in. Him and Cliff. But presumably, I was going to say youthful people sorted that lineup. But it was pretty an aged lineup, though, wasn't it? So it wasn't youthful people at all. Maybe they just didn't want to do it. Who knows? I bet somebody in the press is looking into it. Bodmin. Hello, Malcolm.
Oh, Nick, how do you, mate?
Good, thanks.
Nick, Brexit.
Oh, yeah.
Are you even daring to suggest that Boris Johnson would and should ever consider a U-turn?
No, not him. We'll have to wait till the next one takes over. Or the one after that.
The polls that you quoted, it's unbelievable. Such a short time after leaving the EU. I mean, you look at what's happened. School meals, U-turn. Standards for MPs, U-turn. The list is endless. U-turn after U-turn.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, what's most sickening and galling is, it would be, well, we couldn't possibly go back into Europe. That would be far too embarrassing. We have to do the will of the people.
Yeah, but the people don't will that anymore. They don't will. They never willed it in the first place, and they certainly don't will it now.
And I've got to repeat and add that the booing outside St. Paul's, that was shocking, man. And if he hasn't got the message from that, then he never will.
You think it was shocking? I mean, I would have expected that. That journalists were standing there saying, well, that comes as a great surprise, and I couldn't have predicted that. I could. He's the least popular politician in the country.
Any other place, any other occasion, I'd agree with you. But not that day there.
Right.
But the thing is, Nick, all those Tory MPs, even the ones who would dare to back him, hearing that booing, they've got to be thinking, man, my own seat is in big trouble.
Oh, they're all thinking that.
Trouble.
They're all thinking that, believe me.
Yeah. And honestly, people are saying, oh, well, hang on, Labour should keep Bodger there. I couldn't disagree more because
really?
I honestly believe that Bodger probably is the one most likely in the Tory party to win the next election. I don't think any. I mean, Priti Patel, Dominic Raab, what's her name, Liz
Truss.
I mean, oh my! You got to want Bodger out because if he stays, I mean, people could lose their minds all over again and actually vote for him.
I think you just got tied up in your own argument. That last part didn't make any sense. But other parties should want Boris Johnson to stay exactly where he is, I think, to remind us who they are and what they've done. Because what the Conservative Party are very, very good at is to throw the leader away and then give themselves a lick of paint and then present themselves as a brand new party. We are unaffiliated with the party that you are used to. We're a brand new party. But they won't be the brand new party. They'll be the exact same people, funded by the exact same people, going the exact same way. It's just that there'll be somebody new behind the lectern. But people will fall for that. So I think that the other parties should be keen to keep Boris Johnson precisely where he is, but they seem to be agitating for him to be removed, which doesn't seem to do themselves any favours. But if there's anything that the left wing are very good at, it's not doing themselves any favours. Is that what you were saying there, Malcolm?
No, I think, Nick, that the Tory MPs genuinely believe still that Boris is their best chance, because they're doing the same as you and me and the whole of the nation. And they're saying, well, oh my God, surely the Tories couldn't pick a Truss, a Patel, or any other loony. And then you and I, we'd look at the likes of Elwood, and who are the other ones?
Tugendhat.
The sensible ones. We're looking at them, and we're thinking, oh my God, they may elect one of those sensible ones, but they never will. They never will.
I don't know. I mean, anything could happen in the next week, and I think something probably will happen next week. Who knows? David Gauke used to be a Tory MP. He wrote in the New Statesman, Truss? Seriously? This, in essence, was the nature of the messages I received on Tuesday evening, the 31st of May, from former parliamentary colleagues after I suggested that I thought the Foreign Secretary, Liz Truss, could be Prime Minister by the autumn. There's an assumption among many that Liz Truss cannot become Prime Minister. Her critics say she lacks gravitas, her views are too uncompromising, and that her media performances are uneven. It's also argued that her platform speeches can be poor. Dominic Cummings described her as about as close to properly crackers as anybody I've met in this Parliament. However, this is unfair, says David Gauke. There are quite a few in Parliament who are even closer to being properly crackers than Liz Truss. And then it goes on and on and on. It comes with nothing is guaranteed. There are many MPs who think she would be a disaster as Prime Minister. The prospect might discourage some from moving against Johnson. The prospect of her succeeding may be his best remaining argument. And if it comes to it, plenty will vote tactically to keep her off the membership ballot. She's also perfectly capable of imploding, but a Liz Truss victory cannot be ruled out. Oh no! That can't be our future, surely not. Thanks, Malcolm. 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Email nick@lbc.co.uk. If you're on Twitter, it's @LBC.
Coming up at 1 on LBC, Clive Bull.
After the booing at St Paul's, Boris Johnson is pledging to tackle the NHS backlog as he attempts to save his job. What do you think are his chances?
Clive Bull on LBC.
Your open plan office. Let's face it, it's noisy with zero privacy. So, speak to the Glass Office people. They'll transform your workspace with versatile glass partitions. There's minimal disruption. They can work at night and weekends. And no hidden costs. That's pretty handy when you're running a business. Use their online pricing tool to see how cost-effective it can be. theglassofficepeople.co.uk. Creating new spaces in places.
Efficiently, it's how Swale Heating wants your boiler to run. And some of our competitors say replacing your boiler with an A-rated version could save you up to £550. True if you live in a detached house with a G-rated boiler. Most people don't. However, you could get our engineers to service your existing boiler and make sure it's running as cost-effectively as possible. If it's past its sell-by date, we can install a more efficient model like Worcester Bosch. Visit swaleheating.com. Rely on us to keep you warm.
Sainsbury's Taste the Difference Greek-inspired feta and spinach rolls with buttery puff pastry and barrel-aged feta cheese. And that's why you can taste the difference. Available in selected larger stores and some locals, subject to availability.
Introducing the new McPlant. It's everything you love about the McDonald's taste, only this time it's vegan. With a juicy and succulent patty, co-created with Beyond Meat. A delicious vegan cheese alternative, vegan sandwich sauce, juicy tomato, onions, crisp lettuce, and of course, gherkins. Or not, the choice is always yours. It's our iconic taste, plant-based. For information about McPlant, visit mcdonalds.co.uk/McPlant. Served after 11 a.m, subject to availability.
At Free Now, we're best known for our taxis, but actually we're the mobility super app with more ways to get around. Travelling around London has never been easier. So you can step on it with e-scooters, get motoring this afternoon with private hire cars, or live life in the cycle lane with e-bikes. And just like always, if you need a taxi, all you do is tap and go. Free Now. Get there your way.
LBC with Nick Abbott.
Everything is going extremely well.
Yeah, you heard most of that, right? You heard enough to know where you are. 0345 6060 973. Patrick texts, tonight's performance for Her Madge was nothing less than jolly taxpayers squandering hard-earned dosh in a giant deluxe jukebox. Bristol, hello, Jenny.
Hi.
Jenny.
Hi. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Jenny.
I would just like to say that have we forgotten what happened with Lady Di?
With Princess Di? No.
I think we have.
I don't think so.
I absolutely do think we
I
have.
remember it very well. I bet most people do.
Okay. And
But what's your point?
My point is that the Queen, to me, I have a huge amount of reverence for. She has not put a step wrong apart from when Lady Di died.
Right.
I remember it well.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, I remember it well. But the reverence she now gives to Camilla and Camilla's role in the demise of that relationship, even EastEnders.
What?
Linda, no, hang on a minute. Linda
EastEnders?
Carter. Yeah. Linda Carter was a huge Lady Di fan.
Who's Linda Carter?
Nick Carter's wife.
Who's Nick Carter?
Do you not watch EastEnders?
I've never watched a whole episode of EastEnders, ever.
Okay.
I've never watched
all
a whole episode of Coronation Street, either. That's probably breaking some sort of law.
Let me inform you that Linda Carter was a huge Lady Di fan.
I see.
And there was a huge Thursday episode where Camilla and Prince Charles came to the East
Are you
End.
talking about the one that just happened, where they showed up?
Yeah, they
Right.
showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's Linda Carter bowing and whatever.
Right, well, I have no idea
But-
who that is. But anyway.
Yeah. But it basically it just
It rubbed you up the wrong way, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, relax, Jenny. It's just a TV show. It's just somebody else's life. It's just an amusement for most people. That's all. It's just something you read about in the paper. You flip through, you look at the pictures, and you say, "Oh, well, she looks nice," or "He doesn't look nice," or whatever it might be. According to the day that you're in, and then you move on and think about something else. It's just a passing amusement, Jenny. Relax. Everything's going to be okay, unless it isn't. Erith. Hello, Sid.
Hello, Nick.
Sid.
How's it going?
All right, thanks.
You called earlier saying that Adam Lambert is better than Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, I think somebody did say that, yeah.
Yeah, so what planet does he come from?
I have no idea.
I had the privilege of seeing Queen 4 times.
4
times to see Queen with Freddie Mercury leading.
Yeah.
And the best lead singer Queen had since Freddie's demise was Paul Rodgers.
Well, Paul Rodgers is the voice. I mean, he doesn't have the same sort of charisma as Freddie Mercury. He doesn't have any kind of stage presence, but he can sing.
He doesn't try to be Freddie Mercury, which is what Paul Lambert tries to be.
Does he?
But can't pull it off.
No. Well, I wouldn't think so. Why even attempt it?
I was lucky enough to see the Hyde Park concert, which was delayed by a week because of a bombing.
When was that?
When Hyde Park, I can't think of the year.
What decade was it?
80s.
80s. Oh, 90s. All right. Close enough for jazz. Go on.
But Paul Rodgers led Queen.
Yeah.
And he was doing Cream, he was doing the Humble Pie, and the Free, and Queen.
And Bad Company, and his own stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a good presence about him.
I suppose so. But Paul Lambert doesn't do it for you. All right, I get it. Okay. No, nobody's suggesting that Paul Lambert is better than Freddie Mercury, apart from the person who texted earlier on and suggested that he was. Nobody's believing that, including you and me, Sid. Relax. Everything's going to be okay. Everybody's getting very, very emotional.
Calm down.
Calm down. Steve emails, your last caller, just not that last caller, but one, just before he emailed this. He says, your caller said that Rod sang Sweet Caroline. Liar. That wasn't singing, not even close. What, he did the Neil Diamond song, Sweet Caroline. Oh, oh, oh. Well, if somebody insisted that he did sing that, it was just because they wanted the crowd to go, oh, oh, oh. I bet they did too. Jeff tweets, I think you'll find that the special guest was Paddington Bear. I suppose you've heard of him. Why, yes, I have. Orpington, Gavin.
Hi, Nick. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks.
I thoroughly, on the contrast of a lot of your callers, I thoroughly enjoyed the party.
You did? Finally, I did. Finally, we found someone.
Very much so, and quite frankly, mate, I think we when we put a spectacle and a celebration, and we beat the best of the world. Quite frankly,
we beat the best of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
What does that mean? Like who, for instance?
Everyone, USA. You name it. But are
you all right? Do you have a persistent cough?
Yeah, having a little bit of a cough. There was only one particular person
a bum note
missed.
Right? Who was it?
Big occasion, and that's Whitney Houston. Yeah.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Whitney Houston is unavailable.
Yeah, I know, but sadly missed. With tracks like "Miss You Like Crazy" and everything else, but whatnot. But
okay, please don't sing them for us.
No, I won't. Definitely not. No. The voice is in that up to it at 56 years old plus.
Right. Okay. So an unsolicited testimonial. He liked it a lot. Apart from that whole Whitney Houston issue. All right. Glad to hear it, Gavin. I knew that if I stuck around long enough, somebody would say something positive about it. It's been moaning all night long. I didn't like this and I didn't like that. And moan.
Stop whining.
Yeah, it's a free show, people. It's people complaining about something they didn't pay for and didn't have to watch. Zara emails, apparently we need the royals to bring in tourists and money into our country. I might be wrong, but not a single tourist has ever seen a member of the royal family. I'm sure that people are more interested in Big Ben, cheap tacky T-shirts and from Camden Town and the M&M store. The M&M store, yeah. I still don't get that shop. I just don't understand it. It's like 3 floors of M&Ms. How is that even a thing? I don't get it. Joshua says, don't you think that the money spent on the Jubilee should have been used for something more useful, like a hair transplant for William? Well, there's nothing that he can do about that. Tony says, hi, Nick. Lovely to see Wills talking about the environment while half the RAF flew up the Mall 2 days before. Yeah, I mean, I restate my case. There can't be another family on Earth that uses up more of or damages the environment to the extent that the royal family do. I mean, the amount of houses and cottages and manors and castles and palaces, I mean, it's just ridiculous the amount of property they've got. All of it heated, polished, cleaned and secured to their precise specifications. And he's telling us to conserve. Right, okay, I'll write that down. I'll make a mental note. Kath texts, do you really think the Queen was watching at home? She might have recorded it so she can fast forward to Elbow and Lee Mack tomorrow, perhaps. Well, I do expect that she probably taped it. to fast forward the, past the bits that you didn't like much. I mean, if I was the Queen, that's what I would have done. I would have used my authority. In fact, I would have used my authority to maybe flick off a few of the acts before they'd even reached the stage. But maybe that's just me. We put the Friday and Saturday night shows up on the internet as podcasts, and I'm really sorry I didn't get to everyone's calls or emails, of which I've got 7 pages of closely typed ones that I didn't actually get around to. Janice says, "Where's Adele?" Well, at least we didn't have to suffer that. So there's a positive to end on. 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 Positive to end on.